Welcome to the Behind the Bar podcast. Today we have Harry Widgery joining us. Harry, do you want to introduce yourself a little bit?
Hi, I'm Harry Widgery, chef at Fuller's at the Wykeham Arms in Winchester.
Perfect. Thank you so much for joining us today.
That's okay.
We obviously met at our NITA's Awards last year where you won the Hospitality Apprenticeship Apprentice of the Year. Mm-hmm. How did you come about applying for that?
It was actually a head office. I mean, I won an award at college. It was last year. I won the level 2 intermediate apprentice of the year. So Craig was like, we've already won one. So he's like, go for another. He's like, we got 2 people going up already. So he's like, you might as well just go for it. He's like, what's the worst that can happen? You don't win. And I was like, yeah. So yeah, I filled it out with my manager and we went for it. And yeah.
How did you find the whole process? Because you had to fill out the application form and then there was a panel session, wasn't there?
Yes, luckily I had quite a bit of support. So obviously I had a couple of my managers.
Yeah.
We were all sat down and on the laptop and filled out the application. And yeah, I had my head chef and manager with me during the interview. So yeah, it all went smooth and nice. So.
And how, obviously, at the award ceremony, were you a bit nervous? Were you?
Yeah, very. Yeah, very.
When you won the college award, is it the same sort of thing? Not a big fancy dinner?
Completely different.
How did you feel when you won?
Shocked at first.
You were up against some good
definitely, yeah.
competitors, yeah.
Yeah, I was very shocked. When I read out my name, I was like, I had to look around and then everyone was looking at me like, go on, get up, go. And I was like,
is this me? Yeah. Oh, no, wait, that is my name.
Yeah.
Has it opened any more doors to you? Is it something that people have noticed in your job?
Definitely at work. I mean, everyone's a bit more
appreciative.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the right word.
Yeah. The atmosphere is a lot more positive.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's always been positive, but I mean, like, it's sort of an extra morale booster for everyone as well.
Well, it's good. Congratulations for winning that.
Thank you.
So how did you get into the whole industry? What did you do at college?
I mean, I originally at 16, I didn't even do an apprenticeship. I went straight into the kitchen and did in-house learning. So I did 3 years from 16 to 19. No, it was about 18, so about 2 years. And then I left to go do a building trade for 2 years. For
completely different industry?
Yeah, for some weird reason. And then I had my son and then I was like, you know what, I'm going to give it another whack. And then I came back with a real fire and it's never gone away.
Swapping from chef to building is a completely different thing. Was that just you thought you'd try something different? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I was sort of like young. I wanted my weekends, go out with my mates, and then I sort of got bored of that after a couple of years, and it was like, you know what, we'll give it another whack.
What is it about being in the kitchen and cooking that interests you, excites you? It's
the pressure and the intensity. I love it.
I like that.
There's nothing better you get at the end of the night, and it is rewarding. You get to the end, it's like a big weight coming off your shoulders.
We were having a conversation the other day about the balance between like good pressure and bad pressure. Do you ever find that it gets to the point where it's too much?
Sometimes it can be, yeah.
How do you deal in that situation?
I mean, it depends who you're with as well. I mean, it depends who you're working. It's a weird one because like the atmosphere can change very quickly depending on who you're working with. Different chefs have different intensities. Like you can be working with one chef who's really intense, like right now, and you've got another chef who's like, right, we'll take our time a little bit. So I mean, it can completely depend on who you're working with. But I mean, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, and sometimes you do really feel the pressure when it's busy.
But I suppose that's when it's probably most rewarding afterwards.
Yeah, you get to the end and everyone, we go sit down, have a beer at the end of the service. It's like, it was great.
And how did you get into the apprenticeship? Was it something that Fuller's offered you? Were you working there before you started the apprenticeship?
Yeah, no, so I wasn't at the Wykeham Arms originally. I worked at, it was a little pub called Red Lion in Chiltern, just outside of Portsmouth. I was there when I was 17 and I left. That was where I originally left the kitchen and then came back. And yeah, my old head chef Jason put me on level 2 and I moved up to Southampton with my girlfriend and I was travelling there to Portsmouth every day. And it was like an hour drive, So I mean, I was looking for something a bit closer and I saw Chef Emez and what he was doing on Instagram. And I was like, I want to go there. So I spoke to head office and we got a transfer sorted for me to go up to Winchester. And I've been there since about 2 years now. I've been there.
Enjoying it?
Yeah, I love it.
Obviously, you have to say yes.
Yeah,
everyone's
it's great.
Listening.
No, I love it.
You said you saw him on Instagram?
Yeah, originally, because everyone everyone knows Luke in Fuller's. I mean,
Yep.
he's like one of the company's best chefs. So, I mean, everyone knows him. And I mean, I was following him on Instagram before I even sort of started working for him. So I knew what he was doing. So before I even worked there and I was seeing what he was doing, I was loving it. So I was like, yeah, I definitely want to go there.
So you did your level 2?
I did half of my level 2 where I started, and
Yeah.
then I finished my level 2 with, I did about 75% of my level 2 with who I'm with now.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then I started level 3 with the Wykeham as well.
Have you finished your level 3? Are you still?
No, not yet. I'm about 3/4 of the way through. But it got delayed because they had a kitchen refurb at college. So I got pushed back 6 months. So I got to wait until
annoying.
December so I can finish. But it's not too bad.
Is there a difference in like from the level 2 to level 3? Is there quite
definitely.
a big step up?
Yeah, it's a step up, but not as drastic as everyone would think.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, when you start level 2, it's very daunting. You don't really know anything. You go in, you don't know anyone. It's like you're going in blind. But it's like you step up to level 3 and it's like you sort of know what to expect.
When you first started the level 2, was it a lot more theory or practical? Did you know like sort of what you're expecting? Did they run through it with you?
It was a lot of coursework, but I prefer practical. I'm not really a paperwork person.
Same here.
I can't sit in front of a screen or
Yeah.
on a laptop. I can't do it. I hate it.
Have you found different ways to like?
Yeah, I have
Work
to give
with the
myself
theory or-
motivation, yeah. Like normally I'll put my headphones in and listen to some music, but
And then the level 3, is that a more practical side of it, or
yeah,
is there a lot more theory?
coursework on level 3, like health and safety and
And do you get to do things? I don't know about the level 3 for the chef side of it. Do you get to do like making your own meals, design like that sort of prep?
can
or-
do, yeah. Yeah, like
you not reached
we'll
that
have
yet?
like intermediate assessments. So like we'll finish once. I say if we finish like fish, we'll do a fish assessment. If we finish poultry, we'll do a poultry assessment.
So do you do a section on each
Yeah,
area?
yeah. So we'll do like lamb, pork, beef, fish. We'll do like vegan stuff as well. So I mean, at the end of like every subject, you'll get to do like an assessment where you make your own dish and stuff like
That's
that.
cool. Which is your favourite one so far?
Poultry.
What did you do?
I did chicken ballotine, wild mushroom stuffing, pomana, chicken jus and caramelised onion puree. It actually came out really nice.
I mean, that sounds incredible. For those that have never done the course or never done the level, like sort of so in the poultry section, what did you cover?
Butchery, the whole bird butchery, sort of deboning, muscles. So like you'd butcher the whole bird, put the breast aside, and then you'll get taught to sort of debone everything, how to cook each muscle, best way to cook it, and yeah, college is really in depth when you do
So sort of making the use of all the meat and everything.
Yeah, like even down to the bones, making stock.
Yeah. And do any of your mates have done apprenticeships? You sort of the first one that did it?
One of my friends did it originally at the pub I was at. I mean, he's still my best mate now. I mean, we're constantly sending each other pictures of food on Snapchat. It's literally terrible. If you go through our chats, it's literally just food, food. So my girlfriend said to me, "Do you talk about anything but food?" It's like, no, not really.
It's what you enjoy, right?
Literally.
Do you cook at home?
Yeah.
Yeah. Does she enjoy it?
Yeah, she loves it.
And did you say son?
Yeah.
Do you cook? I'm assuming,
Oh, yeah, he loves it. Yeah, he refuses to eat anything. Like, he's
So it's not
proper, stubborn.
fussy, but not fussy.
Yeah.
He knows what he likes.
Yeah.
How old is he?
2. He's 3 this year.
How's that balance with family life, apprenticeships, work?
Hard. But luckily with my head chef, he's got kids as well. So he sort of tries to balance it between us. So give like one of us a morning off or he'll give us an evening off.
That's
So yeah,
good.
he balances it.
So they're really supportive with that side of it.
Yeah.
What's your favourite part of the apprenticeship that you've done so far?
Definitely have to be the endpoint assessment last year.
For those that don't know what an endpoint assessment is.
To be able to pass your course, there's like a generalised test. There's like 4 different tests. You do like 3... No, it's 2 like written tests. So you do like a multi-choice question and then you do a written exam and then you'll sit down with your endpoint assessor, which is different to your college assessor.
Yep.
So my assessor for the last one was Alan Collison from Brockenhurst College. He did my EPA and we did 4 parts. It was a practical exam at college, which was you get given a 2-course menu that you have to create 2 of each dish and present it in I think it's for 2.5 hour time limit. And then we sat down on a video call, went through all my theory work and stuff like that, questions. And
Yep.
then he came into work and watched me work, did, I think it was a 2-hour assessment at work. Yeah, loads of different tasks. He's like, you do this, you do that, watching me work and stuff like that. But yeah, it went really well.
Intense?
Yeah. Luckily, my sous chef at the time, he put me on the mains, and I was like, ooh. So it was like, normally my section is like, I'm on starters. So starters, obviously we size and stuff like that. So my stronger point is mains. I love cooking. It's just like all hot food I love.
Yep.
Like, all of my dishes I've got written up in my portfolio, in my notebooks, is all like desserts and mains. I don't really. So yeah, he put me on mains. He was like, and even the assessor was like, my God, he was like, I was expecting you to be on there and you're doing that. And I was like, yeah. But yeah, it went really, really well.
It's a good challenge then.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Nice to showcase that you could do that.
Yeah.
If you know, like the Ready Steady Cook, where they put a bag in front of you, like what would you cook?
It's difficult. Is it cooking for myself or someone else?
Okay, if you're cooking for yourself, what would you make?
I do enjoy a good steak. Steak, chips, mushroom, tomato.
How do you have your steak?
Medium rare.
Good choice.
Peppercorn sauce,
Yeah.
blue cheese sauce.
What if you were cooking like for your family?
If it's for my dad, it'd definitely have to be fish. He loves seafood. It'd have to be one of my fish dishes for my dad. My mum hates anything fish.
So
My mum's
you're doing like 8
really
different courses
English,
for the whole family.
Sausage, mash,
Yeah.
cottage pie.
that's a good choice. Proper like winter
English,
meals.
yeah. Yeah, you can't never go wrong with sausage and mash.
This might be an unpopular opinion. You can make it too fancy.
Yeah, I know what you mean, definitely.
Some places you go and it's like the tiniest bit of mash and one sausage and a little bit of herbs on top. You're like, this is not.
Yeah, like one piece of broccoli at the bottom of the plate, and it's like.
This is more like a starter. But
Yeah.
thank you. Yeah. How have Fuller's supported you with the apprenticeship?
I mean, when you first start your apprenticeship, you get an induction, so they send you with a massive group of apprentices. You'll all go and meet up. You do like a little workshop thing. You'll have a few drinks at the end, some food. So it's a nice introduction when you start.
So you meet everyone that's doing the same thing with you.
It's kind of daunting when you first begin. It's like you get in there, you meet everyone. It's like it's not that bad, but yeah, it's been great the whole way. I mean, anything I need, I've got Craig there all the time. I mean, head office or any email away, I've got all the emails. I mean, yeah, Fuller's are great, supportive all the way.
So how does it work? Are you in the pub like 3 days a week and then college a couple of days? Or
So I work 4 days a week at the pub, 1 day a week at college, and then 2 days off.
Most of the time you get the days off.
Luckily, we got quite a big team, so we don't really have too many issues with sort of staffing and stuff like that.
And do your shifts vary?
They can do. It sort of depends on how busy we are. They get somebody who's off ill, like they'll send someone out somewhere, or like if I can be of use somewhere else if we're not that busy.
Yeah.
It's a good experience for me as well.
And have you done that often?
Not too much. It's sort of when someone's like desperately in need in the area and it's like, oh, we got no chefs. It's like, oh, right, you can have this person.
Yeah, you're going there for the day.
But yeah, it's a good experience. It's a really good experience.
So once you've done level 3, what is your plan?
I would like to stay where I am.
If they're
Stay
happy.
Yeah, if Luke can put up with me for that long. Yeah, I'd love to stay where I am. Yeah, I really enjoy where I am. I would like to take a step up eventually. We do have a course, I think it's level 3 leadership and management, which is sort of the next step up.
And the end goal? Would you have your own pub? Would you have your own restaurant?
Yeah, I'd love to.
If you could do
I'd love to,
anything,
What would you
name
have my own pub?
Yeah.
Definitely.
What would you name it?
Be a hard one. Be a hard one because there's so many different pub names and so many of them are used.
Not
so
the Red Lion
much.
because that's the most common one.
No, and what's the other one? It's the half something.
Is it the Half Moon?
Yeah, always the half moon every town you go to. Yeah, and there's something sheep. There's always a sheep everywhere.
Would you be the chef? Would you still cook, or would you oversee everything?
No, I'd never leave the kitchen.
Never leave the kitchen.
Never.
You'd always been hiding in the kitchen.
Yeah, you'd have to drag me out kicking and screaming.
What is it? I know you said that it's the pressure and stuff, but have you always been into cooking since you were little?
Yeah. Not so much little. It was more in my sort of teenage years. I took food tech at school and I sort of loved everything I did in there. And I did they sent me on a schools program 1 day a week at college. And I did, they called it catering back then, but yeah, I did that there and I loved it then, all the stuff I did there. And I went on from there, but obviously didn't do college. I went straight into in-house learning. So obviously it was a bit different for me.
What's the difference between college and in-house learning? Is it like a placement?
No. So in-house learning is you basically just work full-time and do everything in-house. You sort of work your way up in-house. You don't ever go to college. You don't do your do your courses or get your qualifications or anything like that. It's literally you just work your way up from the bottom.
I know there's a whole thing that you have to be in education. Does it still count as education? Because you have to be in education until you're 18.
I never got questioned on that. And my mum always said to me, she was like, you should still be at college. And I'm like, no one's ever called me or anything like that. And then I came back.
So you're technically still learning.
Yeah, but they called me once and they were like, what are you doing? And I was like, well, I just work full time. And they were like, oh, okay.
And was that something that you got into by just sort of going into the place and being like,
yeah, I just went in for a few interviews everywhere. I mean, I knew I wanted to go into the kitchen. It was just finding somewhere that would take me at that age. I mean, no experience. I'm sort of doing like 1 day a week at college. I just think, is he actually going to be any use? But yeah, no, I luckily had a little pub near where my mum lives that took me on for 6 months before changeover of management. But I moved down to a 2-rosette hotel near where my mum lives. And yeah, I loved there. I absolutely loved it there. But the owner fell ill, so we all got obviously made redundant. And that was when I went up to the Red Lion originally. And then obviously left there, went to work on a building site and then came back.
How did you get in, like, how did you find the process of applying for the jobs? Like going into places, and did you find it daunting? Are you one of those people that can sort of go in and talk to anyone? Were you nervous?
Not when I was younger. Not so much so. I was very, very shy when I was younger. Not so much now. I'll go anywhere.
I mean, you're sat here talking to us and we've met once. So.
Not so much now. I mean, I'll talk to anyone, go anywhere. But yeah, when I was younger, I was sort of really timid. I'd go in.
Have you got any jobs?
With my CV in hand.
And did you find that, like, when you do that, some places don't receive you very well. So, like, if you walk in there a bit like, sorry, what?
Yeah, definitely. Sometimes they do look at you like, you're only a kid. Are you even old enough to have a job?
Yeah. But did you find that, or were people quite
a couple of places, and a couple of people were like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "You sure? This is a really hard job. Like, there's plenty of others like that." I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "We'll give you a chance." But
would you recommend an apprenticeship over college?
Definitely.
What would you say is the best bit about doing an apprenticeship, not college?
So with college, you don't get that experience. You are literally full-time college. All you know is college, recipes, specs, stuff like that. With an apprenticeship, you get that in-house experience. You get that real intensity of services. Not like when you get to the end of your course at full-time college, you get thrown into the kitchen at deep end. It's like, whoa, this is like completely out of my depth. And it's like, I've heard stories of like people I know that have been to full-time college thrown into the kitchen, like, whoa, this is not what I expected. And it's like, I know some people who have left after 3 months because they're like, this is really not for me. And it's like, this is not what I expected from college. It's just like with an apprenticeship, you get that sort of real work experience that you don't get with a full-time course.
Those people that you know that have left that, have they gone on to do something completely different?
Yeah, funny, they ended up on a building site.
Is that the go-to around from where you live?
Yeah.
You can't be a chef, you have to be a builder.
Yeah. If you're not a chef, you're a tradie, and if you're not a tradie, you work in an office.
So what would you say are, for anyone thinking about applying for an apprenticeship?
Go for it. If you don't enjoy it, most apprenticeships you get sort of, it's like a leeway you get for the first, like, I think it's the first couple of months where if you don't enjoy it, you can sort of say, it's not for me, but you give it a go. I mean, that's what I did, just go for it. With an apprenticeship, you get paid while you work.
Yeah.
It's just like with a full-time college course, you then have to work part-time as well, and it's like with an apprenticeship, you get paid for going to college as well. So it's like...
So no-brainer.
It's a win-win.
Really,
It's a win-win.
And has it gone up from doing a level 2 to a level 3?
Yeah. The step up from level 2 to level 3 is quite drastic from what people would expect. I think it'd only be sort of like, but it is it's a big jump.
To work, look after family.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. What is your opinion on pubs? Do you visit pubs a lot? Are you a pub person?
Oh yeah, I love it.
What's your favourite thing about pubs?
I like that you can find a little pub in the middle of nowhere and you can go in there, order some food, and sometimes you'll find a little jam out in the middle of nowhere. And it's like, no one's ever heard of this place. And it's like, some of the stuff they do there is great. It's like, I went to Cornwall once and we ended up in this little pub in the middle of nowhere. And it's some of the best food I'd ever eaten. And it was like, my God, has anyone even heard of this place?
Do you find yourself, now I do it because I work in a bar occasionally, that I will go somewhere and I'll judge people on like how they're pouring pints or do you find you doing that with food? To be like, oh, that's not how I'd serve that. Or actually, this is a really good idea.
Sometimes. Like, if I go out with my family, they hate it because they're like, was that good enough for you? And I'm like, oh, God, not this again. And it's like, you end up going around, like, you go out and like, is that nice? And I'm like, yes, it's fine.
Yes, it's nice. I wouldn't have cooked it this way, but you're not. You sort of, I guess you've learnt to sort of step out the. I'm the chef. I'm now just a customer. So.
Yeah, sort of gives you that experience. You see in the customer's eyes as well. Sometimes sort of what they see from the other side.
Do you ever get to, like, when you're cooking at work? Do you ever get to eat what you cook, or is it all like?
Yeah, sometimes. Like if we have a new menu, like we'll have we call it a cook-off.
Mm-hmm.
So you cook out like all the dishes from a new menu. Everyone will come in, we'll explain everything. Everyone will taste everything. So every time you have a new menu launch, you'll get to taste everything. You know sort of what you're cooking, what everything's meant to taste like. And
do the team get an input as well, or is it just the chefs that design the menu? Or
no, we all get an input. So I mean, we got a pastry chef. She's great. She does all our pastry menu. She obviously everything gets approved by the head chef. But I mean Luke's an absolute wizard. But yeah, he takes all of our ideas on board. If we got a suggestion, he's like, try it.
Is there anything on your menu at the moment that you have come up chosen?
Not at the moment, no. No, I've got a couple of dishes, but I'm saving them. I'm gonna hopefully try and do a couple of competitions this year.
That's cool.
So I'm gonna try and save.
Have you entered the pub chef of the year?
No, I will. I will have a look at that though. Yeah. But no, there is a couple that I'm looking at this year that I want to do.
So when you're coming up with ideas for yourself, do you just have a day at home in your kitchen?
Yeah.
Does your partner get bored? I've just tasted this.
Sometimes, yeah. She's like, that was literally the same thing I tasted 5 minutes ago, and I'm like, yeah, I know, but I've just added this.
I've just seasoned it a little bit. Just.
Yeah, she likes it. She does get a bit annoyed sometimes. So.
Is it like the mess afterwards once you've cooked 5 different dishes?
Yeah, she's like, my God, I don't know how you make so much mess. She's like, do you make this much mess at work? And I'm like, no.
No, I'm tidy at work because I have to be.
Yeah, and it's like, at work I've got someone to clean for me. You've got someone constantly washing your pants.
Don't say that to her. I don't think that'll go down very well. Yeah. She can be my KP, that'd be great.
Yeah. Nope.
No. You have to train your son.
Yeah. Yeah, be washing plates by the time he's 5.
The whole idea in workforce, obviously you've seen bits about it, is all about the careers in pubs, because we know that the industry is struggling.
Yeah.
Especially with chefs. Yeah. You're probably very well aware of that one.
Yeah.
That trying to get people into the pub industry, they just don't understand that it can be a career.
No.
And when you first went into the pubs, were you a bit like, is this something that I can turn into a career, or were you aware of what it was? Or
see, I saw more the chef side of it, like looking up to big chefs. It sounds sort of cringy, but looking up to big chefs like Gordon Ramsay, Simon Morgan, like Mabe and sort of Claire Smith, looking at all those big chefs and thinking, want to be sort of there one day. And it's like, I mean, it sounds cringy, and everyone says, I want to be this person. But you do, like,
you have your idols as such.
Yeah, it's sort of everyone in every career. Like every kid that plays football wants to be Ronaldo or Messi, and it's like,
out of all the ones you could have chosen.
Yeah.
So, but you sort of went into it thinking, I could make a career out of this.
Yeah, definitely.
And have you seen any? I know there's a bit of a stigma, especially from parents and stuff, that pubs aren't really a career, and we're really trying to change that. So, I was very lucky. My parents drunk in the pub that I started working in, and they were like, "You need a job here; it'll do you so much good."
See, luckily my parents were very supportive. My dad always knew I loved food, and so did my mum. So they always said to me, "Whatever you want to do, we're supportive. Yeah. Whether you stay in the kitchen, whether you leave the kitchen, we'll support you." So they were happy either way. But yeah, they knew that I wanted to do it, and they said whether you do it in a pub or a restaurant, whatever, just go for it. And they were like, if you're going to do it, just stick to it, whatever you do.
Yeah, just don't go, I'm going to actually go build for 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, the workforce platform is going to be available that we can sort of give more detail on what the careers are available. So like you said, like chef, you've done the level 2, you're doing the level 3. From that, you could become, where can you go from level 3? You could be a head chef, you could be a sous chef.
And that's the big thing as well, is like a lot of chefs don't know, like when they finish courses, they don't know what doors are next.
Yeah. And
that's a big thing as well that obviously will come with workforce. It's like they don't know where to go next, and it's like
what are your next doors after you do level 3? I mean, you said that you want to stay where you are, but
yeah, it's a difficult one. I mean, I definitely need to speak to a few people at head office and sort of say what is the next step. But that's obviously.
But they'll be able to support you with that and provide you that information.
They'll tell me like you can either do this, and this, and this, and they'll put everything forward to me.
That's good. it's good to have that support.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the pub companies do that with their apprenticeships.
Yeah, they do.
I think
they do.
they all offer apprenticeships.
Yeah, a lot of them do, and a lot of them do. They do like the after steps as well, where you can do like extra 6-month courses and sort of get extra sort of like qualifications and stuff.
Okay. If you weren't a chef or a builder, what would you do?
It'd definitely have to be some sort of computing. I'm very good on a computer. So
even though you hate sitting in front of one.
Yeah, I don't like sort of like typing stuff, like doing long word sheets and essays and stuff like that. But yeah, like put me on. Like I used to do a lot of coding when I was younger. I'd play games like Minecraft and stuff like that. Yeah, I used to enjoy stuff like that. So definitely, if I was in a chef, it'd be some sort of like
interesting,
tech or
completely
IT.
different.
Yeah,
completely different.
Yeah.
What top tips would you give someone doing an apprentice that they're like, say they've just got into it and they're not sure if it's something? What would be the top tip?
Giving it 100% is definitely a must. I mean, doing an apprenticeship in the kitchen, you can't go at sort of 50, 60%. You have to go 100%.
Is it difficult to give it 100% all the time?
Can be, yeah. Yeah, especially being a chef long hours. So, I mean, like, you get to your college day and it's like, God, I'm absolutely knackered. And it's like, sometimes it's hard to find the motivation to sort of do your theory work and do your college work. But, yeah, giving it 100%, just push.
Yeah. What hours do you actually work? Because there is this whole thing that chef hours are really unsociable.
Yeah, so I mean, a lot of weekends. So like my weekends, it depends. Like sometimes you'll start at 9, sometimes you'll start at 10, but you do get a break, sort of 1-2 hour break during the day. But I mean, you do a lot of the time you do end up finishing at like 11, half 11, 12 at night. So I mean, yeah, they are very unsociable hours.
But it's the fine balance, I guess, if you get the 2 days off during the week and things.
Yeah, and I mean, you get 28 days holiday. Yeah, if you want a weekend off, like, if you pre-plan what you're going to do over the year, it's easy to manage.
That's the same with an office job, I guess.
Yeah.
You get the holiday days.
Yeah. Yes, it's like you definitely have to manage your time well.
And if you found that you've got a lot better with that,
yeah,
having done the level 2 and the level 3, you're sort of now like,
definitely. At the start, I was awful all the time, always late, and I was like, oh god, place to be, like. But yeah, no, you do. Over time, you do definitely find a balance for it.
One thing we do with our podcasts is that the person before you has written a question, and you have to answer it, and then you'll have to give us one to ask the next person. What's your most memorable hospitality experience?
Definitely be when I worked at the hotel, where we had it's funny. It's funny, but it's not. We had it was like a 300 cover wedding. We had it.
Which hotel was this? Are you allowed to name drop?
In the Meon Valleys, just outside of Hampshire. And we had a 300 cover wedding, me and one chef.
That's a lot between 2 people.
I mean, I've never seen a guy move like that. He was an absolute tank. I've never seen anyone move as fast as him, but I mean, he was moving.
Was it like 3-course dinner as well?
Yeah. 3-course tasting menu. So, no, 5-course tasting menu, so it was all small plates. Like, we did.
Between 2 of you?
Yeah, so it was an amuse-bouche, starter, palate cleanser, main, dessert.
Yeah.
So he was plating up mains to the sauce. He had all the sauce in one pan and no backups. Dropped the sauce on the pass. That was definitely an experience. Literally all over the floor.
Just sort of went.
Yeah, you got 30 plates of food that are fully plated, and then you got 20. You're trying to find sauce in the fridge. It's like that was definitely the.
Was it one of those moments where it went?
Literally that, and he just stood there looking at it like. I was like, there's literally nothing we can do. Like, did you
have to serve it without the sauce then, or did you have to quickly make some more? Or I suppose you can't really quickly make 300 portions.
No, we had to serve it without. But luckily, we managed to ration what we did have left. Luckily, the pan landed upright, so it still had like a tiny. But we managed to ration the tiniest bit out of everyone, and he was like, "I've never had to do that before." But I was only 16 at the time, so it's just 6 years ago. So when I was like 16, like, oh my god, what are we gonna do? And it's like,
How did you end up with that gig anyway? Like, how is it just you and him doing 300 covers?
Yeah, it was a 30-room hotel.
Yeah.
We had me, head chef, pot wash, but a lot of what we did was banqueting.
Yeah.
So if we had like a wedding on, you'd cook everything in advance and hot hold.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd have everything on hot hold. When it's ready to go, you come out, But you'd have like all your starters. So your starters would be cold, so everything would be pre-plated. You'd pull out the fridge, go. So if you had bread, you'd heat your bread up quickly or whatever. So a lot of it was like banqueting style. So it's very quick, out the oven, plate, go. So a lot of it with two chefs was it was hard, but it was not as
doable. But
doable, intense but doable. Not what everyone would expect from sort of looking at two chefs, 300 people. You'd think, my God, there's no way you're going to do that. But
I've worked in the corporate events, and you see it like all the plates laid out and stuff.
Yeah,
like, how are they doing this?
Yeah,
it's literally like one by one.
You just have one person behind you, just passing you everything at once. It's like it's a lot easier than what people would expect.
It works.
Yeah.
But you have to know what you're doing, I guess.
Yeah. If you know what you're doing, it's very efficient. But
and
if
not drop the sauce.
Yeah, one slip up and you can mess up the whole thing.
Yeah.
So it has to be sort of like a well-oiled machine.
I guess that's something that's going to stick in your head forever, though. The sauce situation.
Yeah, I've had a couple of chefs that we had during a Christmas service. We had a steak on, and my sous chef dropped peppercorn sauce all over us. I've got a picture on my phone of him and peppercorn sauce all down the side and all on his trousers, and him just stood there like that with
angry,
peppercorn sauce all over himself.
But I suppose it's situations like that, as long as you can laugh about it.
Yeah, the thing is, you have to laugh.
Yeah,
if you don't laugh, you're gonna cry. Yeah. It's either you laugh or you cry.
That's not gonna help the service.
I'd rather laugh than cry.
Yeah, that's a good story. I like that story. If people want to look into apprenticeships, is it something they should talk to their pub company about, their managers?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, government, they have a Gov website that offers apprenticeships to everyone. I mean, they have a massive, like, it's like a search engine that you have.
Yeah.
You can search, and they have like different categories as well. You can search different companies, different categories, and they also have ratings on there as well. So like you'll have previous employees will rate the company on like how well they're treated, if they're treated fairly enough and stuff like that. So you can sort of gauge who you're working for.
Is that how you found yours, or is that something that you've just learned, about through the process?
I knew the people that worked at the pub. So obviously I went there, and then my chef was like, right, we'll put you on an apprenticeship, we'll put you at college and stuff like that. So luckily I already had that door open to me. But yeah, a lot of people won't. So do searching online as well. I mean, you will find a lot of stuff online about it. I mean, you'll find jobs everywhere, apprenticeships everywhere.
Good tip. I like that tip. It's the government website.
Yeah, the government have a website for apprenticeships. It's a good one to look at.
Perfect. Yeah, and we work with HIT training as well and the AB. So they provide them too. Cool. Well, thank you so much.
No, it's okay. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.